My goodness. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do the show and tell. Greg's going to take it over there so you can pack it after the meeting's over. And we get it out of the way of the program. Beautiful, beautiful gyro optic light emerald vase with the gold Dresden rose pattern on it. Isn't that beautiful? This would show up in the 27 catalog. Great. Two really nice pieces of very, very, very pale pink, almost white, opalescent Everglades. We're still not sure what happened here, but our guess is that they were trying to compete with Duncan Miller's opalescent. It all seems to be in the Everglade pattern, except for the Stratford salt dip comes in a green opalescent. But we still don't know whether this is production, experimental, what it is. It's wonderful glass, whatever. Beautiful Fry water pitcher with an etching very reminiscent of Martha. Fry was in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. They were known for cut glass and Faval glass, but they did a lot of etchings. Unusual wide optic peach blow cocktail shaker with the golden encrusted hunt scene on it. Very nice. Wow. And that's loose. And a peach blow bridge set with 3 of the 4 tumblers. These are 8-ounce sodas. Very, very, very nice. Whoever owns this probably would be happy to buy your 4th tumbler from you if you've got one. Willow blue narrow optic 274 bud vase with the Betty etching and gold trim. Nice. Wonderful, wonderful tumbler. This is actually from the 1066 line. Doesn't look anything like 1066. With the blue and yellow Scotty, and David said this was a Michigan Scotty, blue and yellow. We won't break it, but we'll turn it around like this or something. Wonderful 17-inch basket in peach blow. This is the first one of these we have ever seen in this size with arrow optic, and they didn't expand. They apparently pulled out too big a spot mold for the arrow optic, so it left just little dimples instead of the diamond quilted effect all over it. Very unusual. This is a New Martinsville little amber cordial decanter with silver overlay on it. Very reminiscent of Tally-Ho. Very, very reminiscent of Tally-Ho. As is this little cordial is New Martinsville. It's called Crow's Foot, and it has platinum trim on it. New Martinsville and Paden City, I'm not sure if they had original designers. I think they just copied Cambridge, basically. It's what they did. This is a neat little piece that came into the museum this afternoon. They thought maybe it needed a bottom. It is complete. This is a watchmaker's cover, and it has a nice little early paper Cambridge label. And the Clemens have donated to the museum because I told them we sure would like to have this little guy in the museum. A peach blow looking colored tray. This is a cigar ashtray and a coaster. I do not know who made it. It's obviously of the Depression period. My guess would be one of the Depression companies like Federal or Jeanette. Goldenrod, Martha Washington. Two-handled sugar that's almost fired into opalescent on the bottom. Wonderful pistachio. Short stem nude. Some of the later compotes had a shorter stem instead of the tall stem compote. Hard color to find in the compote pistachio. Beautiful, beautiful topaz community bowl and candlesticks. This is wonderful. These are all polished cut on the top. Really beautiful. I'll give the candlestick to the next person. Wonderful. I always called them pinball vases. These are late. We have some blue ones up here we're going to show you later. This is a celestial cutting. I'm not sure who made the vase. This is reminiscent of Cambridge's turquoise. There were quite a few companies making what we call blue milk glass early on, such as Atterbury, Westmoreland. National had companies that owned Cambridge, had companies that made this glass. I'm sorry I can't tell you who made it. Pretty pattern. Pretty pattern. The celery that you don't see real often in Crystal Caprice. Is it a 103, David? Does that sound right? 103 or 104? There's a single one and then there's a 4-division one. They're both hard to find. Wonderful, wonderful piece of etched Lorna. This is the flip bowl mold. This is how the flip bowl looks, not crimped, but this is what the flip bowl looks like coming out of the mold. And then they tool it down. This one's been crimped additionally. It has a nice signature in the bottom. Unusual. Beautiful peach blow vase done in apple blossom. Isn't that pretty? Etching really fits the vase. This is a little moonlight bluish colored cruet. It's from Czechoslovakia. It does have age on it. It's not new. Little stopper. Thanks. This is an 8-ounce soda in Aero Optic with majestic etching on it. Pretty cool. This is a pristine looking cigarette holder with an ashtray foot. I don't think it's pristine, do you? You do think it's pristine. Okay, we've looked and looked and looked at it. Yes, okay. It has a radically different top than the other Cambridge cigarette holders. This one has a sand carving that's been filled in with a light green color. I've never seen one of these in person, so I didn't know it. You've got one too? The stem's exactly the same. You looked at it. Good. 2 Cambridge candlesticks. One in forest green with grape etching on it, and one that we think is probably sun-colored. It looks like Heisey Hawthorne almost too, but we do think it's sun-colored. A neat little ashtray. This is a strange little fellow from the Mount Vernon line. I have always been convinced this was an old mold that they pulled out and stuck into the Mount Vernon line because it really doesn't have any of the characteristics of Mount Vernon. This one is a crystal ashtray that has been color stained on the back. The color stain may be on the metal, on the inside of the metal. Cute little guy. And last but certainly not least, a light emerald bird feeder. This is the early, there were 2 formulas of light emerald, and this is the one that leans to Vaseline color. And Richie's cullet, he's been digging again. He brought us all blue because we have the blue program. So we have probably what is the bottom of the Blue Mist iced tea, and then one with cobalt flecks on it instead of light blue flecks. We're not sure about the colors on Mardi Gras and Blue Mist and White Rain. Some of the colors don't fit the time frame, and somebody suggested they broke up glass that they had in the museum that was old because cobalt was way out of the line by the 50s. So we're not sure, or if in reheating it changed color too. It's a very unusual bottom corner of a Cambridge Square goblet with blue mist in it. Okay? And this are what's-its. And we don't know what the what's-it is, but Richie says he keeps digging these things with these great big ribs on them. And we're not sure if they're part of a knockoff from some piece of glass or what they are. I said your fingers fit perfectly like a manicure item in this one. I'm not sure. I have no idea. This is the bottom of a very unusual transparent blue bowl base in what I think is the test color. They used a tealy blue to test the molds. They never sold this color, but they used it to test the mold when it was new. Okay. And two wonderful pieces of blue slag. Who knows if they started out this color or not, or if they were refired a number of times and changed color. This one has an amber slag streak through it. The Christensen Agate Company behind the plant bought this kind of collet from Cambridge, and they reheated and made marbles out of it. And they were, happy to get these slaggy pieces that were multicolored. And last but certainly not least, it's not totally complete, but it's pretty complete, is a bird seed cup. This went in the this little part right here, this little clover part, went in the bird cage, pressured into it, and then you fill this full of bird seed. This is in a very strange light powdery blue opal, and what I think this is a piece of early Cambridge milk glass that they called opal that has slightly colored, either in the batch or in the ground. I'm not sure which. This is shown in the 1903-4 catalog in this piece. Okay. Yes, sir. They use teal. I have no idea. We found this out from Mossers. Carl Bynan, our Scotty chair, went down there one day and they were testing the Scotty mold to see if they could run it. And they tested it in this odd teal color. And then I bought a Chelsea vase out of a worker's home in town in that same color, thinking I had an experimental color. And Carl mentioned it to me, so I took it out to Mossers, and they said, "How'd you get that?" And I explained, and he said, "Well, that's the test color." And he said, "We always test in that color and then break it." And for some reason, it's about the color of ultramarine swirl in depression glass. It's an odd tealy blue color. It's a beautiful color, but they never produced it. But that was what they tested the molds with. I don't understand it either. Beautiful near-cut Cambridge, and it is signed. If you get to looking really close, it has a string near-cut signature in the middle. This is a bridal rosette or checkerboard cake stand in near-cut. I've never seen the piece before. It's wonderful. Or ribbon. It has a number of names. And last but certainly not least, oh boy, is one of Joe Salito's favorite pieces, a nude goblet done in gold rose point. And we have a note here from Florence. I don't know if any of you remember Florence and Joe Salito used to do our show. They were from Tolan, Connecticut. He was tall with black hair, and he was a lawyer. And Florence was this little tiny petite thing with black hair. Really nice people. And it says, "Attention, Preservation Committee. Please accept this Rose Point nude gold-encrusted goblet. Thank you for adding this to the NCC rare collection of items in memory of Joe W. Salito. Sincerely, Florence Salito." Wonderful. Wonderful.